Miami, as federal officials began investigating the catastrophic collapse of a pedestrian bridge here. Authorities made a grim announcement: the death toll has climbed to 6, and more victims may be buried in the rubble. Our first priority is getting to those victims, Juan Perez, director of the Miami-Dade Police Department, said Friday morning. But, he added, it is a slow and painstaking process to break the debris into smaller pieces for removal, and to reach the vehicles that were crushed when the 960-ton span collapsed Thursday afternoon. The footbridge was designed to connect the city of Sweetwater with the sprawling campus of Florida International University, and it was still being installed when it came crashing down. Marco Rubio, RFLA, said suspension cables on the bridge were being tightened when it collapsed. Sweetwater Mayor Orlando Lopez said Friday that one of the victims in the accident was an FIU student. "We're truly saddened to hear that," Lopez told reporters at a news conference. The student wasn't publicly identified. It's up to the medical examiner to release the names. FIU President Mark B. Rosenberg told Fox affiliate WSVN, and authorities haven't named any of the other victims, either. Perez, the police director, said officials would not speculate about the likely number of fatalities until the recovery process is complete. Authorities want to bring closure to worried family members, he said, but can't confirm identities of who is underneath the rubble. "We're caught in a bad place right now," he said. "Our primary focus is to removal of the cars and all of the victims in a dignified manner and not compromise the investigation in the process," Miami-Dade County Deputy Mayor Maurice Kemp said Friday. "The investigation is vital, because we want to ensure that this type of accident doesn't happen again locally, or anywhere in this country." The National Transportation Safety Board, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration and the Federal Highway Administration are investigating, as well as the county police department's homicide detectives. A team of county prosecutors arrived at the scene Friday, as well. The footbridge, which had been hailed for its innovative construction method, collapsed over a busy road west of Miami, crushing numerous vehicles and leaving rescue workers racing to free victims from chunks of concrete and snapped metal. It had just been put in place across Southwest 8th Street on Saturday, and had not opened to pedestrians. Vehicles were stopped at a red light when the bridge crashed down about 1:30 p.m. It had been designed to make it safer for students to cross the frenetic roadway. It was going to be a significant project, Rubio said Thursday night. To see it on the ground and underneath it, those who died and who were injured, is a tragedy. The cause of the collapse will be fully investigated, he promised. The victims and their families deserve to know what went wrong. There will be an extraordinary review into what the errors were and what led to this catastrophic collapse. Later, Rubio posted on social media, "The cables that suspend they were being tightened when it collapsed today." The NTSB had been told construction workers were on the bridge at the time of the collapse, said Robert Sumwalt, chairman of the National Transportation Safety Board. He said his investigative team got to the area near the bridge about 10 p.m. Thursday and stayed until 2 a.m. before returning later Friday morning. They expect to remain for about a week for a detailed probe. They had not yet been able to get close to the scene because of the recovery efforts, Sumwalt said. "Our entire purpose in being here is to find out what happened so we can keep it from happening again." By Friday, the rescue operation had become a recovery effort. Miami-Dade Fire Chief Dave Downey said that after listening, visual and canine searches, "We've determined that there's no longer any survivors." President Trump responded to the heartbreaking bridge collapse Thursday evening with prayers, plus praise for the first responders. Alexander Conker, 36, and Ivy Polanco, 23, were about to have lunch Thursday at Panthers Boulevard Cafe, about a block away from the bridge. Suddenly, they heard wailing sirens and helicopters buzzing overhead. "Our first reaction was, we hope it's not the bridge," Conker said. On the site where it collapsed, it didn't seem very secure. It seemed very unsafe. The bridge collapsed during Florida International's spring break. "It's very lucky that we are on spring break and that this didn't happen during rush hour," said Polanco, an FIU student. "It could have been so much worse." Florida International University on Saturday had touted the bridge's first-of-its-kind construction method, and hailed the permanent installation of the bridge's main span. It stretched 174 feet and weighed 960 tons, according to an FIU news release, and was built using accelerated bridge construction methods that were being worked on at the university. This method of construction reduces potential risks to workers, commuters,